Imagine an airline where you pay for your ticket, and then you pay for your seat, and then your bag, and maybe even to print your boarding pass. Welcome to Spirit Airlines, the budget carrier that's either saving you money or nickel and diming you to death. But Spirit didn't just become a meme overnight. Their story is full of risky business decisions, massive growth, angry customers, and now the possibility of collapse. This is the rise, and maybe the fall, of Spirit Airlines. The story starts back in 1964, not with airplanes, but with trucks. Spirit began as a tiny company called Clippert Trucking. In the 1980s, they pivoted into the travel business, running charter flights under the name Charter One. By 1992, the company rebranded as Spirit Airlines and started flying passengers across the US and into popular vacation spots. At first, they were just another small regional airline trying to find their place. But then came a decision that would define the entire company. They went all in on the ultra-low-cost model. Spirit looked at European budget airlines like Ryanair and decided to copy that formula in America. The strategy was simple: strip down everything. Planes were packed tighter with tiny legroom. Snacks and drinks were no longer free. Carry-ons and checked bags cost extra, and even choosing a seat required another fee. The base fares, however, were unbelievably cheap, sometimes as low as $20. And while customers saw a bargain, Spirit saw a goldmine. The truth was, most of their profit came not from the ticket itself, but from all the extra charges piled on top. For a while, the system worked. Spirit became the most profitable airline in the US when measured by profit per passenger. But success came at a cost, and that cost was their reputation. Passengers hated it. Spirit regularly ranked dead last in customer satisfaction. Complaints flooded in about surprise fees, endless delays, and the misery of cramming into seats with hardly any space. Instead of apologizing or softening their image, Spirit leaned into the criticism. They ran ads bragging about being the home of the bare fare, and even stirred controversy with slogans like, "We're cheaper than a stripper." It was bold, it was shameless, and it cemented their reputation as the airline people loved to hate. And yet, despite all the hate, Spirit kept growing. By offering prices so low that some people could afford to fly for the first time ever, Spirit tapped into a huge new customer base. Through the 2010s, the airline became one of the fastest-growing carriers in America. But then came the merger saga. In 2022, both Frontier Airlines and JetBlue Airways went to war over Spirit. Spirit first agreed to merge with Frontier, but JetBlue came in with a bigger offer. After months of drama and corporate maneuvering, Spirit ultimately accepted JetBlue's bid. It looked like a done deal, until regulators stepped in.
We are looking at a decision in the JetBlue-Spirit merger case, and it is against JetBlue and Spirit merging. The DOJ victorious. A judge has decided this merger will not go through.
In 2024, the government blocked the merger, arguing that it would reduce competition and drive up fares. Suddenly, Spirit was stuck. Too big to quietly disappear, but too small to dominate the industry. That left the company facing serious turbulence. Debt is piling up. Fuel costs are rising. The budget airline space is more competitive than ever, with rivals like Frontier and even major carriers offering stripped-down ticket options. By 2024 and 2025, analysts were openly warning that Spirit might not survive without a merger or massive restructuring. The airline insists it's going to fight to stay in the skies, but the question is, for how long? Spirit Airlines built its entire brand on being cheap, bold, and unapologetically different. But in an industry where passengers still expect at least some comfort, can Spirit survive in the long run? Or is the airline that people love to hate finally running out of runway? What do you think? Is Spirit doomed, or are they just too scrappy to die? Let me know in the comments.
Spirit Airlines is warning it may not survive unless it raises enough cash to cover its debts. The Florida-based carrier, fresh out of bankruptcy, says its credit card processor is demanding more collateral, or it could lose the contract by year's end. To generate cash, Spirit is considering selling spare engines or its rights to use gates at certain airports. And this comes just weeks after the airline announced plans to furlough more than 250 pilots later this year.